There was tales of a man whose heart made him win, whose grit and determination would have let him win any fight that he ever went against. And used when someone would use black magic against him, he would lose. But overall, when push came to shove, this man with an iron heart would always win. Today was not that day. Jiri Prochazka lost by round one knockout to Carlos Ulberg. In UFC 327, my voice is sore. I've been screaming my lungs out for basically all of the main event. I'm gonna go over UFC 327. How awful it is. It was actually a really good card until the main event. Let's get started. Can I get stats? Let's see if I can get stats. There we go. Charles Radke, Francisco Prado. I mean, ugh. Charles Radke does what I said he did. Just was better everywhere. A lot more groundwork though. A lot more grappling. I didn't really get to watch this fight, uh, but Radke had some good moments even on bottom when Prado would I think Prado dropped Radke in the first. No, he never dropped him. Never mind. But Radke had some good moments on his back. Sliced open Prado on the forehead from bottom. Did some good work. Prado got a point taken away in round two for an eye poke. I like that the refs tonight were on point. We're quick to take away points, and I like that. We need to do that more. Oh my goodness, take my voice. Oh, I'm sorry. The year you losing does that to you. Yeah, I went with Radke. He's shown better levels, and Prado's just not that good. He's like five. He's like 1-5 in his last six. It's time to cut him. But good win from Radke. Moving up, Kelvin Gastelum, Vicente Luque. Luque got it done. I mean, very impressive from Luque. I thought Gastelum was going to KO him in round one, honestly, because Gastelum came in there. He made weight for once, which is I should have known something was wrong because Gastelum actually made weight. But Gastelum came in there was swinging bombs over the side of Luque's guard, and it looked like Luque was getting wobbled while getting hit on the guard. Like, kind of weird. I was like, uh-oh. This may be a sad TKO where Luque just goes out to kind of like a nothing shot. But he doesn't. Gastelum shoots a takedown in the first, doesn't really get it. Kind of has Luque in like a Darce choke position. Wink, wink. Luque fights out of it. He's kind of shelling up. He's hiding behind his guard up against the cage. Kelvin comes in. Right hook or left hand uppercut. Something like that. Nasty. Sits down Gastelum. He subs him out in round one. Nasty work from Vicente Luque. He's back. He's at middleweight. He looked pretty good. Gastelum's a hard guy to put away in round one, and he was able to do that pretty quick. So a good win from Vicente Luque. I'm now 1-1. And moving up, Chris Padilla, Markel Maduros. I had this obvious at Chris Padilla. You could have had Padilla winning all three rounds. I gave Padilla rounds 2 and 3, but also you could have given him round one. Round one, it's pretty close. He had the bigger significant strikes, but Markel Maduros hit a nasty elbow on Chris Padilla. Huge gash in on his eyebrow, which the corner work, by the way. This fight, the cutmen in this fight night were really good. A lot of heavy cuts where I thought the fight may have been stopped to him, and the corners put care of it. Sorry, I'm still struggling. It's like a family member died. It honestly feels like that. Like it feels that somberness. Like it feels like the whole world is in mourning to what happened in the main event. But yeah, Chris Padilla, like I said, his corner dealt with that cut very well. It never I don't think it ever reopened again after round one. And then round 2 and 3, it's just Padilla pouring on the volume, just getting in Maderos' face, making the work out of the clinch. Round 3 is a little bit closer, but Maderos got a point taken off. These are the rounds. Look at that. 44 to 28, 40 to 27, 71 to 46, 63 to 44, and then 49 to 43, 44 to 41. But he got a point because he eye poked Padilla twice, and he grabbed a cage. Marco Medeiros grabbed the cage in round 3 too, pretty badly. So they took a point away, and he still somehow got away with a draw. I don't know how. Chris Padilla obviously won this fight. I'm giving myself the win because Chris Padilla won. That wasn't a robbery. The fact that Chris Padilla didn't get that win. But, he looked pretty good. Marco Medeiros looked decent. He looked good on the counter. Very crafty elbows. Stepping elbows. A lot of elbows because Padilla was just crowding him a lot throughout the whole entire fight. So Medeiros was like, well, I'm just going to elbow you if you're going to be in my face. And it worked out decently, but Padilla just stayed on him. Did some good clinch work. Had some good jabs. A lot of low kicks from Padilla. A lot of those significant strikes on Padilla are low kicks, but they added up. Moving up to the prelims. Tatiana Suarez, Luque Godinez. Suarez gets hurt early, has some what's it called? Some conflict early. Luque Godinez, like a straight left or right down the pipe, kind of sits Tatiana Suarez down. They have to wrestle. She kind of has to work her way back in round 1. You could have given her round 1, but honestly, Godinez probably gets round 1 just off of that damage. But after that drop, after she dropped Suarez just kind of ragdolled her. Not ragdolled her, but just held her down. And then round 2, same thing happens, but she gets the rear naked choke. And so Suarez subs out Luque Godinez in round 2. Good work from Suarez. She looked impressive. I was scared to pick her, but because of her relationship with Trashy Mix, but it worked out well. So good work from Tatiana Suarez. Moving up. Mateusz Gamrot, Esteban Ribovic. This was a beautiful fight. People were picking Ribovic, and I knew. I just knew. Y'all don't know game like me. Y'all don't know game. Because the gamer has this, Ribovic, I just didn't see him as good of a prospect as Ludovic Klein, and this showed. He got shown levels, round 1. He kicks, and he basically gives his leg to Gamrot with a low kick, because Gamrot's like kind of lulling him in to low kicking him, and then Ribovic takes the bait, low kicks, Gamrot snatches that sucker up, ends up on top, holds out round 1 on top, and then same thing happens with round 2, except Ribovic is kind of like rushing in to try and hit something big on Gamrot, get some respect, and then Gamrot just level changes, sinks down. Ribovic runs into Gamrot. So Gamrot's just lowered his base, and now he has both of Ribovic's hips and legs and knees. So he just takes him on a ride, ends up on top, he goes for an arm triangle. The ref steps in kind of early. Like Ribovic is like, hold on a second, let me see if I can get out of this. Punches. So like he's getting arm triangled, head and arm choked. And he's like sitting there, and the ref like touches him. I'm like, "Are you awake? Are you awake?" Because it was kind of like he was like a dead fish. Like he's. That's what Ribovic looked like when, as soon as he got put in that arm triangle from Gamrot, he's. So ref's like, "Is this guy dead?" And he's like, "No, I'm good." All right, now I tap out. So he wanted to hold on for a little bit. I think he was maybe the sound like, "Do I go out cold?" No, I don't. But great work from Mateusz Gamrot. He shows levels to these up-and-comers. I wouldn't be worried for Quinlan Salkil Benil Dariush, though, because Dariush got dropped, by Moicano, and he's got a glass chin. But, a great one for Mateusz Gamrot, dude. Put him again. He called out Diego Lopez. Lopez is wanting to go up to lightweight. I'd like that move for him. I could also see him staying at featherweight. I think he'd beat Steve Garcia. But honestly, wherever Lopez goes, I'll be a number 1 fan. So, Lopez, you do you, and I'll follow you. You beat Gamrot, though. I am saying Lopez beats the crap out of Gamrot. Moving up, Kevin Holland, Randy Brown. Trash versus garbage. I know how to call it. And this time, garbage won. Kevin Holland got it done. I thought he put him away in round 2, which he almost did. with a submission, almost starched him in the second. But Kevin Holland just lands the more impactful strikes, lands the better strikes. Low kick heavy this game. He saw what Gabriel Bonfirm was able to do, tried to recreate it, and recreated it not as effectively, but good enough to get the win. By round 3, they were both gassed out. Randy Brown just kept basically round 3. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in round 3. Shameful. Curtis Blaydes and Josh Hokit would laugh at you for not doing anything in round 3. But yeah, Kevin Holland won. He won round 1 because he didn't really drop Randy Brown. Randy Brown tripped over, but Kevin Holland ended the round on top where it was pretty close and did some ground and pound. And then round 2, we had that locked in submission with some good strikes. And then round 3, it was just 64-25. 17 significant strikes to 14. Not too much done. And that's a lot of clinch work, stuff that's lazy. But good one from Kevin Holland, dude. He's back. Now I'm wrong. I was on a streak. Boom, I was on a streak. And now Patricio, Pitbull, Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico looked really good. He looked really, really good. I'm impressed, Round 1, I thought I had this, though. Round 1, Pitbull was a little bit slicker in the counter. And so he would slip Pico's jab and land with his overhand, with his own jab, the cross counter. But Pico would be slipping his jab cross counter. So it was just a cross counter. Or I guess a jab counter. But yeah, Pitbull was looking good round 1. He's beat him up. Somehow they gave Pico round 1. Not sure how. Round 1 was obviously Pitbull's. He landed the better shots. He got outstruck barely because these were tappy low kicks and stuff like that. Pico got a takedown for 1 second. Pitbull got back up. He won round 1. Don't let these stats fool you. Pitbull won round 1. He landed the better shots. Was popping Aaron Pico. He popped Aaron Pico's nose. Had him wobbled 2 or 3 times that first round. And I go, yeah, it's Pitbull. Yeah, Pitbull's got this. Pico's he's not going to get respect. And in round 2, Pico just starts doing some combinations and he starts rattling stuff off and he just knows I'm quicker than this guy. That's kind of the turning point for this, is that Pico goes, man, I'm so much quicker than Pitbull. And so he takes it. Quick combinations, clean combinations, hitting them hard. Great chin on Pitbull, though, to be fair. Great chin. He stood and took all of it. I think he got dropped once. They're not even giving him a knockdown. Oh, my goodness, dude. No knockdowns. That's a lot. He got, flash knockdowns a couple times. Great one from Pico. He's ranked now. Get flatline KO'd by Lerone Murphy, and now he gets ranked. People are going how good is Lerone Murphy? Dude, it was Pitbull. We learned nothing from this. We don't know what kind of fighters these two are yet. But, good one from Aaron Pico. He looked good. He's fun to watch. Very beautiful to watch in his combinations and how quick he is and good. He liked to end combinations to the body, which was pretty good. Pitbull stayed in there, but he just doesn't have the grit, doesn't have the pop. And he's just slow. By rounds 2 and 3, he's just so slow, and he's just standing there. So many times he's just kind of standing there, thinking of what to do. And by the time he's all right, I'm gonna do this, Pico's already jabbed his done a 3-2-3 to the body, uppercut right hand. But yeah, good one from Pico. He looked really good. Moving up main card, I got this wrong. Cub Swanson just completely shuts down and dominates Nate Landwehr. Drops him 3 times, I want to say. 2 times. Just complete domination. I thought Nate Landwehr would bite down and fire back, but he threw nothing back, dude. Very, very weird to look from Nate Landwehr. I'm very disappointed in his performance. That he looked awful. If I'm just gonna be an honest guy, an honest man, Nate Landwehr looked awful in that fight. I'm very disappointed in how he looked. I was hoping he'd look better. I was hoping he'd give a bit of a firefight. But Cub Swanson, he just puts the pepper on Nate Landwehr, tees off on him, masterclass, and just puts him away in round 1. Beautiful retirement fight for Cub Swanson. Congratulations, dude. You got lucky. Nate the Train, he was at a wrong stop. He was at the wrong station. The train never got started. But yeah, very disappointing from Nate the Train. He just kind of sat there and took a beating. I will say nasty knockout by Cub Swanson. Nasty knockout. Good for him. I will say we're gonna get into the bonuses later, but there's loving a little bit some fights a little bit too much, and I think that's what happened tonight. But moving up, Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker. I said Dominic Reyes would win, being more methodical. He's a little bit more technical than Johnny Walker, and that was kind of true, kind of false. Man, I can't find like a good where's the middle, dude? Is that the middle? I'm just gonna lock that in. Say that's the middle. I thought he'd get a round one KO. I thought Johnny Walker would throw punches, but this whole entire fight, Johnny Walker threw zero punches, dude. Zero punches. Johnny Walker just low kicked the whole entire fight. And that's what it was, Johnny Walker would throw low kicks. Dominic Reyes would have to respond with either his own low kick, his own body kick, or his own head kick. And then if he was really feeling risky, he'd blitz him with his left hand, with his right hand, with his rear hand. Let's just say rear because I forget what stance he's in. But yeah, I thought it was easy. Clear Dominic Reyes won. I thought it went one rounds, 1 and 3. You can also give hey, give him all 3 rounds, dude. I know Walker outstruck Reyes, but he was landing tappy low kicks that really didn't do anything. Reyes was at least landing body kicks, like some decent body kicks, some punches to the head, which is crazy. He actually hit Johnny Walker in the face a couple times, and to the body and teeps to the body and stuff like that. So honestly, you could give Johnny Walker all 3 rounds. I wouldn't care. Or Reyes all 3 rounds. I wouldn't care. But yeah, very boring fight. Nothing really happened. We hyped this. It always happens. We hype this up too much. Hype up a fight too much, and it just never delivers. And we did it again with Johnny Walker, Dominic Reyes. The Battle of Chins did not begin and never even started. That was kind of like the stare down of chins. And Dominic Reyes landed a couple good shots, here and there, but what is that? That was like number 10 versus number 13 or whatever. I don't know, light heavyweight seeming not that good right now, except for the Killmate. Moving up, fight of the year. Actually, a fight of the year candidate. Let me break this down. Josh Hokit is a legendary fighter. Full fight, 181 strikes out of 300 strikes thrown for Josh Hokit. 214 total strikes of 345 strikes thrown for Curtis Blaydes. Great work from Blaydes, by the way. I know we lost, but great output from Blaydes. His jab was never stopping that whole entire fight. He was always jabbing. But Josh Hokit, either Blaydes is a pillow puncher or Josh Hokit has a crazy chin. Blaydes got 2 takedowns of 7. Josh Hokit went for a takedown, didn't really get it. Went for a single leg in round 1. 174 significant strikes with 302 thrown for Blaydes. 177 significant strikes for basically 300 thrown for Josh Hokit. Insane fight. Let me give you the breakdown. Josh Hokit walks out to the Darth Maul da-da, da-da-da, into a song. He walks out, Sith robe, American bandana, glasses on. He walks in there. He gets all suited up. He's in there. And then when Blaydes comes out and they're doing their thing and they announce Josh Hokit walks up to Blaydes. They have to pull Josh Hokit back and is flipping him off right before the fight begins. I like it, dude. I like a little bit of antics in the cage if you're not Gene Silva, dude. Where you bark. This is kind of like a retarded thing, not an autistic thing. But yeah, Josh Hokit flips him off before the fight. And then as soon as the fight starts, he's on Blaydes. Each round that this fight started, he wasn't walking over to Blaydes. He was basically he would just jump into Blaydes' face and just 1-2, 1-2 all night long. And his 2 would always land very well. He has a really good power hand, Josh Hokit. His power hand would just keep on clipping Blaydes. Now, I just don't think Josh Hokit has too much pop. He doesn't have too much pop. Not enough to get Curtis Blaydes gone, but enough to get him respect and drop Curtis Blaydes. I want to say twice in round 1. No knockdowns, never mind. There's no fun in this. Yeah, these stats are wrong. They knocked him down. Hokit knocks down Blaydes twice in round 1. But it was, so crazy that it was back and forth. Hokit comes in, pours on the pressure. I think he's about to get a round one KO. Blaydes cracks him back and has Hokit on the back ropes. Josh Hokit's very good at turning with punches though. Very, very good at turning with punches. If it's a straight jab, he so many times he was just eating straight jabs on the forehead, just punching his head back. But for combinations, and maybe it's just because Blaydes is so hand speed is so slow, he can see that second, third, and fourth punch coming. But Josh Hokit is very good with turning with it, not letting it really hit him, just barely getting out of the way. That saved him a lot during this fight because Blaydes would hit him with that initial punch, and then Josh Hokit would weave out the way for the second, third, and fourth. And that kind of is what kept him in. But they just traded back and forth. This was like Don Fry, Yaguchi Haraguchi or whatever. You know that clip where they're just grabbing each other by the shoulder and just going. That's what that was. That's what that was. That was basically what that was. They were just going back and forth, brawling heavily, hurting each other back and forth. Josh Hokit randomly in the middle, to like as a mid fight intermission, he's just flipping Curtis Blaydes off whenever he feels like it. And by the end of round one, Curtis Blaydes got a couple takedowns, and Hokit showed some heart because he was gassed, but he knows I can't stay down. Curtis Blaydes has me taken down. He's 30 pounds heavier than me. If he takes me down, he can obviously just lay this out. Do some serious damage to me on the ground. I'm gonna have to actually really push. And each time Curtis Blaydes only got him down 2 or 3 times, but each time he did, Josh Hokit was gassed and he still pushed and made that effort to get back up. So great work from Hokit. Great work from both, dude. This was an amazing sick fight. It got fight of the night and performance of the night for both. Like Curtis Blaydes and Josh Hokit got 200K each, which is crazy. But I do think you give Cub Swanson some love, Paulo Costa some love. Carlos Ulberg, we don't give him any love. Who else? Give Luque some love. You know what I'm saying? But these guys do deserve it because they fought their hearts out. Fight of the year, just all out war back and forth. I mean, in round one, 77 total strikes from Blaydes, 41 from Hokit, with 2 knockdowns for Blaydes, 41-58 on significant strikes. Round two, Josh Hokit starts bringing it back, 54-56. But again, these significant strikes are jabs from Blaydes, and most significant strikes from Hokit are heavy. Like he'd pop. Like you're thinking, man, Josh Hokit doesn't have that much sting on his shots, and then he'll pop a quick 1-2 down the pipe, and Blaydes is sent flying backwards, and then he'll kind of sit down and fly something backwards. But a lot of Blaydes shots were busy work in the clinch, where he's grabbed Hokit, single collar tie, kind of like elbows, some crazy elbows on Josh Hawkins' forehead, and I don't think he was ever super hurt. Like there was some times he was hurt, but he was faked wobbled a couple times. You know what I'm saying? At the end of round two, like he's going, oh, like the Marab thing against O'Malley, but it was like from a right hook that barely misses his head from Blaydes. Like Blaydes barely misses the right hook, and he's going, woo. He's emoting, dude. It's fun. It's fun. He had some fun out there. Great fight, amazing fight. I'm on the Josh Hokit train, dude. I don't care what you say. That was a sick fight. He was right, Miami. Josh Hokit was right. Hey, thumbs up from me, pal. Thumbs up from me. Big fat thumbs up. That was a sick fight. It's 12 a.m. I was depressed for a little bit because of the main event. We'll go back to that. But I got this fight wrong. But honestly, I get this fight wrong 1,000 times for that fun of a fight. And I really wanted to choose Josh Hokit, but I was thinking I can't choose Paulo Costa and Josh Hokit. I can't do that. But I should have. Because guess what, guys? My Paulo Costa pick was incredibly smart and clever and genius. I thought it'd be more of a decision. But dude, it was so beautiful. First of all, Paulo Costa starts out decent. I'm a little worried. His right hand's at the round one. His fingers are right here on his right hand, on his rear hand the whole time. He's always keeping that guard up in case Mirzakhanov throws that big meaty overhand, just in case. And Paulo Costa slamming low kicks, body kicks, head kicks, just kind of out moving Mirzakhanov. Mirzakhanov, if he can't win that outside foot position battle, dude, he's kind of just sitting there waiting for his shot, and it never comes. You know, he's kind of hesitant for that shot. Sorry. Ooh, sorry. But yeah, you know, round one again, 23-7. By the way, they gave Mirzakhanov round one. Judges gave Mirzakhanov round one, just so you know. But yeah, Paulo Costa just outstruck him. Had a good two at one point. Um, I forgot did he like drop him this round or was it round two? I think it was round two. He accidentally eye pokes Mirzakhanov at one point. Mirzakhanov is ducking in to throw his overhand, and Paulo Costa tries to palm his head, and his thumb slips across the eye. Kind of, it doesn't gouge his eye. Kind of catches the eyelid on the way by. So they separate that, reset. But that was good for Costa because he was kind of gassed in the second round. He was gassed in the second, but he kept it on him. I was screaming for this fight, dude. I was screaming for 15 minutes straight. 15 minutes straight, I was screaming for the entire Josh Hokit Curtis Blaydes fight because I really wanted Josh Hokit to win. And now we have this, dude. Paulo Costa as Matt Mirzakhanov. I'm screaming the whole entire time. Round one, like I said, good body kicks, good low kicks from Costa, kind of staying at his own pace, you know, throwing in an occasional jab. He's just so quick. Costa is so quick, very very deadly. If you let him start getting stuff off, and as Matt Mirzakhanov was, because he was just looking for one shot, while Paulo Costa's snowballing into what would be an eventual finish. So round two, I mean, no knockdown. Really? Okay. So it's pretty more even, you know. Mirzakhanov gets a takedown. I forgot when he gets a takedown. Paulo Costa reverses it. Oh yeah, he got like at the very end of the round. Or no, like towards the middle of the round, he throws Paulo Costa. He ends up like in like a scarf hold kind of bully choke kind of thing. Mirzakhanov does. And I'm thinking, this could be dangerous. But he doesn't go for any ground and pound from that position. He just chose for the choke, which was like nowhere in. And Paulo Costa just gets his head out, and then he starts blowing off. But Paulo Costa hits some mean body shots, and he starts going for that head kick. And that head kick starts slowly getting through each time in round two. Just slowly, each time he throws that head kick, it starts getting through more and more and more. And then he hits him with like a body shot. Like they're in the clinch, and Paulo Costa hits him with like a shovel hook to the body, and it just sends Mirzakhanov flying down. And Paulo Costa tries to finish. He almost gets that finish round two, but he has like Mirzakhanov kind of in this weird angle, and he could have kneed him to the head, but I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was gassed and he wanted to save it for the third. Because in the third round, Paulo Costa starts off strong. You know, I gave Paulo Costa round 1 and 2 just because he was landing the better shots, the cleaner shots. I think in round two though, Mirzakhanov did wobble Costa kinda. He like hurt Costa. He like hit him behind the ear, and Costa kind of has to go into a clinch with Mirzakhanov, and I'm like, and Mirzakhanov hits a nice uppercut. But I think at that point, by round two, Paulo Costa just sapped all of Mirzakhanov's strength. He's old, dude. He's old. And I think just a couple body shots, dude, and Mirzakhanov like the Dustin Jacoby fight is a perfect example. That's what I brought up. Dustin Jacoby, you're going to a decision with because he's drained. You're getting drained. If you don't start putting in those investment shots on Mirzakhanov, you're gonna get put away. But investment shots in Mirzakhanov, you get a return on your investment shot so quick against Mirzakhanov. And that's what happened to Paulo Costa. He was investing to the leg, chewed up that lead leg a lot, chewed up the body a lot, and chewed up that head, dude. Because round three, they start off and Paulo Costa hits a clean head kick. Mirzakhanov's kind of wobbled about a whole bunch of times. Mirzakhanov's like slowly, like kind of like a senile old man for a little bit. He's like, where am I? Like for a little bit, that happens. And Paulo Costa's like, is this guy okay? Okay, I want to. And then he like hurts Mirzakhanov, and Mirzakhanov cracks him back with a left hand. And Paulo Costa's like, all right, let's not do that. I'm gonna play it careful. And then he goes for like two more head kicks. And at that point, Murzakanov is doing a drunken kind of sailor thing where he's playing Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like he's like that. He takes a head kick from Costa, a clean head kick from Costa, and he just kind of tumbles down. Uh, he just kind of goes like, "I'm gonna lay down now." Like he didn't get flatline KO'd. It was a really good head kick. I'm not saying he was like fully awake, but you could tell he's like, I could either try and keep fighting or I could just lay down and take this KO. I'm going to lay down and take this KO. You can have it, Costa. So great win from Paulo Costa. Round 3 KO. I thought he'd be get a decision because I wasn't sure how many times he'd go for risk that head kick. But Murzakanov just gasses out too quick. I think that's why he doesn't grapple. He just gasses out. And he just doesn't have it against a Paulo Costa who's really quick, who can get things off really quick and not let you set things up that easily. So great one from Paulo Costa. You know, gets a third round knockout over a 16-0 undefeated Russian. That's great work. That's great work. But moving up to the main event. Jiri Prochazka Carlos Ulberg. Jiri Prochazka Carlos Ulberg. So, like I said, there was a room. There used to be tales of a man whose heart was so big and his heart had so much that he couldn't lose any fight, and that the only person who could beat him would be a goat of the sport. And I believed in that story. I believed in that story. I believed uh Jiri Prochazka gets knocked out in round 1. And let me tell you, it's probably the worst way for him to get knocked out because he probably had one of the easiest wins in UFC history. In UFC history, that was the easiest win ever. So let's start off route. It starts off, Ulberg gets some low kicks in, but Jiri is getting his own low kicks. He's doing a lot of hand fighting so that he can blitz in without the threat of Carlos Ulberg's lead hook, that left hook. That left hook. A lot of hand fighting so he wouldn't get hit by that left hook early in the fight. And so he is hand fighting a lot, low kicking a lot, and at some point he blitzes in with a good left hand, and Carlos Ulberg kind of stumbles over himself and tears his ACL. Tears his ACL mid-fight, you can tell because his rear leg is all messed up. He's kind of stumbling. Jiri Prochazka is visibly upset. He's pointing at the ground. He's going, dude, you hurt yourself. I'm upset. What are we doing? What are we doing? We need to go. We need to go. You're hurt. We got to finish this. And he could have stayed at range. He could have popped a jab. He could have popped a jab. He could have thrown body kicks. He could have thrown a head kick. Because Carlos Ulberg couldn't kick. His rear leg was compromised. So if he wanted to kick, he'd have to either kick with that rear leg, which he doesn't really like to do that much. Because you wind up your hips, you square up your hips. Here you can time a 1-2 down the pipe. And instead, Jiri closes in on Carlos Ulberg, the dangerous counter striker, closes in on him, and just kind of waddles into range. Like Dominic Reyes. Like how, you know how Dominic Reyes waddled into range against Ulberg and got slept? Same thing happened here. Because Prochazka just walked into a left hook and got slept out cold. I thought he'd be fine. When Jiri Prochazka got dropped initially, I go, he'll be fine, dude. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Ulberg doesn't have the best follow-up shots on the floor. He'll be fine. And then he hammer fists Jiri, and Yuri's out cold. He's stiff as a board on the floor. So I go, well, that's not that good. And I watched Jiri Prochazka get KO'd by Carlos Ulberg, and now Carlos Ulberg is, in UFC history, a light heavyweight champion. And the top contenders for a light heavyweight title shot are Ankalaev, Magomed Ankalaev, Paulo Costa now, I guess, if he wants to stay at light heavyweight for a chance to be there. Khalil somehow still up there. Um, Jan Blachowicz, if he gets a win over Guskov, I guess. Basically, light heavyweight's dead. Because Ulberg's going to be out for the rest of this year with that torn ACL. And Prochazka just walked into a check left hook and got flatlined. Nasty, nasty work from Ulberg. Insane work from Ulberg. Very, showed a lot of heart. Be able to fight through, torn ACL, still get the KO, but you could tell Jiri was not happy because he knew Ulberg hurt his rear leg. He knew. And he was not happy with winning a fight like that. He said in the post-fight speech, they even let him have a post-fight speech after getting knocked out. Even though Joe Rogan said he never likes doing that because of the DC thing. But in the post-fight speech, he says, I had too much mercy, and that's a good lesson to learn. And now we have to deal with Carlos Ulberg as being a light heavyweight champ. So yeah. Great card. Great card. I got this fight wrong. It's like I said, it's kind of a somber ending. Kind of a bittersweet card. You got the retirement from Cub Swanson, him ending on a high note. You got Vicente Luque, he's back in the mix. You got a Josh Hokit, Curtis Blaydes Warrior, where they both show, tough and grit and determination, and they put a show on for everybody. You have Paulo Costa, kind of getting rid of his loss streak down at middleweight gone, and showing that he's a different beast at light heavyweight. And then you had this, kind of just like a sour, this was a left hook to the face, is what this fight was. This is how it felt like to end it. Because now, we have to suffer through Burns Mallet in Winnipeg, Canada next week. Luckily, when I pick Strickland and when I pick Joshua Van, they will win it next week. And not next week, but at UFC 328. When I pick Sean Strickland and when I pick Joshua Van, they will avenge this feeling, this kind of emptiness I'm feeling after a Jiri Prochazka loss. It's always so hard when you see Jiri Prochazka lose, because when he loses in the most spectacular way possible. That's Jiri for you. When he loses, he's going to make sure to lose in the most spectacular way possible. And that's what he did. Walked right into a check left hook. I mean, it's hard to say. But, I mean, amazing card. Amazing card. Highlight reel finish on the main event. Highlight reel KO in the co-main event. Feature fight was a war. Johnny Walker, Dominic Reyes was a bit, that was a letdown, but, we hyped it up too much. Nate Landwehr, Cub Swanson was an absolute banger. Cub Swanson ends out on a high note. Tatiana Suarez got a finish. What was before that? Gamrot showed levels. Vicente Luque's back. Radke had, some grit and determination. A robbery. Can't go, not a robbery because it was a draw, but, they robbed a win from Chris Padilla. What else is on here? Pitbull, Pico, he's back. Kevin Holland, he's back in the win column. It's always nice to have Kevin Holland in the win column. I have work tomorrow, in a couple hours. I tried to stream this, but my laptop charger died, so I couldn't. You got to saw my reaction to Chris Padilla, uh, Marco Medeiros, like for 2 rounds of like you got to see my reaction to the round three of Radke Prado, all of Luque Gastelum, and then the first 2 rounds of Chris Padilla, Marco Medeiros, which is sick. But yeah, uh, I just want to let you know you're not alone. If you're watching this, which is probably just going to be me listening back to this, but if you've made it this far and you're watching this with me, you are not alone, dude. We are all feeling the loss of Jiri Prochazka. We are all mourning what is basically his death, because I'm not sure how he comes back from that. I know he can, but it's just such a bad note to get knocked out on. It's such a bad note to get knocked out on. Um, but you're not alone. Listen, dude. I'm touching. We're connected right now. You're not alone. Me and you are both feeling depressed and sad and lost. But just remember, next week, Burns Mallet. Burns is gonna get the upset win. I don't know if I'm picking Burns. I can honestly see Burns winning though, just fluking a win. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this fight night recap or fight this pay per view recap, the fight card recap. I guess I did I did awful. What did I do? Let's see what I did. So one and one. I'm gonna give myself 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, 7-5. Went 7-5. Not the best, not the worst. We'll get them next week because I'll do good on awful cards. That's what I normally do good on. I should have chosen Ulberg, dude. I should have chosen Ulberg. As soon as if you go back when Ulberg was first announced, I did say that's a very tough matchup for Erie. I think Ulberg may win. Uh, and sometimes the UFC works out where fighters win, like the fighters that need to win just win. And that should have happened tonight, but Yuri's still the man that he is, threw that away. Like the UFC rigged for Ulberg to lose an ACL. Ulberg, there was a second gunman. There was a second gunman that shot Ulberg's ACL out, and Jiri Prochazka still lost. That's impressive. But I respect I guess his honor. I've been rambling a lot. Yeah, I gotta go to bed. I got work in a couple hours. But don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. We're all sad together. That's what helps me. Is that if you're a true MMA fan, you had the highest highs of a Josh Hokit win to the highest highs of a Paulo Costa knockout in the third to the lowest lows of a Jiri Prochazka loss and a Carlos Ulberg win all in one night. Which, as a UFC fan, there's no better way to describe that. To describe MMA and the fact that you'll have the highest high and lowest low all in the same night. Because it's like a crescendo. It builds up into it. It builds up into it, and then we just fell off a cliff. Yeah. Don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. I'm gonna wait for 34 minutes because I like nice even minutes on my thing. Peace out. Now.